everybody. Good evening. Hope everyone is fine. This live will be in English, and I'm very honored to speak tonight with Carol Muthiga Oyekunle, aka Lolita Lorenzo, and I'm very happy to change the narratives with her. That's actually the title of our live, which is Shifting Narratives, Truth, Art. I'm just waiting for her to connect. Oh, here we go. Lolita Lorenzo is here. Let's see. Here we go. I'm inviting you. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. And you?
I'm great.
Thank you for joining me.
With great pleasure, honor.
So I was just saying hello to everybody, and I would like first of all to introduce myself very quickly. I'm Christelle Acquet, an artist advisor and a cultural project manager, and I'm very honored to talk with you about the title, which is Shifting Narratives, Truth, Art.
As I am as well.
And dear Lolita Lorenzo, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Caroline Karongari Muthiga. I'm Kenyan American. I'm an artist, but I manifest my art through fashion and digital art.
All right. How did you choose your artist name, Lolita Lorenzo?
Well, it was very simple for me. I had reached a crossroads in my life, and when my first daughter was born, I wanted to reintroduce my work in a meaningful way, a more meaningful way. So Lolita Lorenzo is named after my two daughters. Lolita is Chiara Lola, and Sienna Lorenza. I thought I was having a boy when I was having my second daughter. So the name was already chosen. So yeah, so we have Lolita Lorenzo, and they are the essence of my life, and they are what I do.
Okay, great. So just to try to explain everything, actually, I never met you before. I actually met your work. So I really have to explain everything. It's a very interesting story. I had been invited by a non-profit organization called Pour l'Art pour l'Afrique, through their event, which is called Traversées africaines. And we actually started to visit the first gallery, which is the Eric Dupont gallery.
Yes.
And Mr. Dupont welcomed us very nicely and explained everything.
He's
yes.
a human being, yeah.
And actually, while he was explaining all the works and all the artist point of view, your work actually caught my eyes. And actually, I was just visiting everything, and he just told me, okay, this is Carol Muthiga Oyekunle, Lolita Lorenzo, and I said, I really like her work. And I say, okay, well, you should go to to her first exhibition. And I just write on a paper the address and say, okay, I'll see you next week, and that's it. And I would like to show
how the universe works.
Yes, I would like to show you work.
Oh, merci.
This is what I actually saw for the first time. And I was so, how can I say that? So thrilled. It was very motivating for me because I could read actually, I guess, what you meant by this picture. We will go through it, but I was really, really thrilled. And okay, this picture is called Métis. It has been done in 21, I guess, early 22. And yes, yeah, it's a unique piece that we can actually show at the Eric. You can actually, see at the Eric Dupont Gallery until May 28th.
That piece specifically is 2022. Yes.
Okay, all right. And well, there is a lot to say. First of all, I know that you are a designer.
Yes.
You're a designer, and you're also an artist. And there is many living colors on your accessories and on your painting. So I have two questions. How can you define, first of all, your approach, your work, and how did you choose the colors?
Oh, that's a question that has many answers. For me, I live my life in color. I love color. I'm not sure how else to describe it. Color is an expression of many things, emotions, you know, things that are going on. I actually, even the words that we speak, I actually see them in colors. For example, the days of the week, I see them in color. So, for example, Monday is a pink, Tuesday is an orange, Wednesday is a dark burgundy, Thursday's a navy, and Friday is a purple. And sorry, Saturday is a pink, and Sunday is a red. So I see everything in color. So I guess that's where that it's just me and my life and the reflection of things that I see in color.
Okay, and there are many women, like one of these women that are some of them that I actually put on my Instagram are very famous, like Naomi Campbell. I guess there was also Diana Ross.
Yes.
Can you please explain how do you choose your model?
I choose the women that I represent in my artwork because they are, for me, number one, icons, people that I look up to, and they're also reflections of who I am. So that's how I choose the women that I represent.
So who is Lolita Lorenzo then?
Lolita Lorenzo is me, and it's my daughter.
Okay. All right. And so that leads us to my next question. As a woman and as an African American woman, do you actually believe that art can help us to shift the narratives?
Well, yes, of course, because throughout history, throughout modern history, throughout recorded history, it is the conqueror that has told that story. Now, in modern history that we're making now, it is up to us, up to people that look like us, to tell this story through our own lens. So that is what I'm trying to do.
Okay. And do you have any story to tell about, I don't know, maybe Métis?
Yeah, there's a very deep story. For all the women that I represent in my artwork, it's about presenting a new narrative and presenting the woman as the warrior. Like for me, for example, I've always believed that, you know, deep down in each one of us, there is a warrior. But in recent times, I lost my grandmother not too long ago.
Sorry for your loss.
Thank you. And she was the most magnificent woman, very gentle, very kind. She taught me many of the things that I know. But just before she passed, I learned that because I'm Kenyan and I'm Kikuyu, so we fought the British in the War of Independence, and I learned that she was actually part of the resistance movement.
Okay.
With my grandfather fighting against the British. So, you know, you start to understand like where you come from and why you do what you do.
Oh, that's a real story. It's like actually you're having a lot to say about your ancestors now.
Yes.
And I guess in a way you can transmit it through your work.
Exactly.
And so I guess because when we were at you know, at the exhibition,
yes,
you were explaining us that most of the women that you are showing in your work are,
yes,
as you said, fighters,
yes,
strong women.
yes.
And you were saying a few words also. I'm here. And you know, at the
Here, I want to be seen and I want to be heard. And a lot of the imagery that I portray is at first glance you look at it and it's something quite beautiful. But if you look at it closely and if you look at the elements that I use, yes, they're beautiful. But if you don't know how to navigate around them, because I use a lot of sea creatures, corals, fungi, flowers that, you know, are poisonous. If you don't know how to interact with them, then, you know, that is, you know, for me, the message.
I understand. And what about there was another one that I actually put on my Instagram account. It's good hair.
Yes.
What?
Can we talk about good hair? Can we talk about hair?
Well, it's a large subject, but yes, let's go.
Well,
Let's talk about it.
In the African American, African descent community, you know, hair, even, you know, for all women, hair is the so-called crowning glory. Now, it is how you present yourself. It is also a method of protection, but also of vanity and sort of compliance to society, as it were. And for me, it's a form of protection in a way. So, for example, I'm not sure if, you know, maybe this resonates with a lot of people. you can't touch people's hair.
No, you can't. I agree.
you just can't. So sometimes I'm in situations where, you know, people are like, oh my God, look at your hair. And then they start to touch it because suddenly your hair becomes an object.
Yes.
And it's not, because it's so personal and so sacred. So, you know, if I touched your face, for example, you'd have an issue with it. So for me, please don't touch my hair.
Don't touch my
That's
hair.
all. But then at the same time, there's this issue of, you know, within the, well, I'll say women of African descent or people of African descent, where there's been a sort of socio-political definition of what good hair is. And for me, all hair is good hair. It is your hair or whatever hair that you choose to wear, and it's yours. So, you know, just respect that, and it's beautiful, and let's celebrate that, and that's it.
Yes. Thank you for sharing. And about all the, I would say, women issue, or what some women, or even African women or African women, African American women are going through. Could you please share maybe any encouraging words or even experience for any girls, any women who may need some motivation, you know, in their life?
Yes, that's a really important question. Thank you for asking it. And this is for all women and actually all people. For me, the one thing that I've learned through this journey called life is don't ever let anybody tell you what your story is. Don't let anybody ever tell you who you are. You are the only person that can say that and define that. So you find your way, and it's possible for every one of us to be anything that we desire. You just have to want it and then make the effort to do it. And for all of us women, especially, we are stronger than we know. And once you put that will into the universe meets you back where you are and rewards you. So yeah, you can be anything.
Yes, sometimes it's a bit difficult. I will try to challenge you a bit about this subject. Sometimes it's difficult to, you know, just want it or do it, because many of, I would say, let's say, women can go through a lot of things, and it's not that easy, you know, to just do the better that you can, because there's so many challenges that it's not that easy, you know.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I learned. It's about letting go. Letting go and not trying to control everything. Because when you resist, then the universe meets you with that resistance. Now, when you let go, it meets you where you're at. I have a story.
Here we go.
I'm sorry, it's very emotional, but I went through a very difficult time.
It's okay, you got it.
And I decided I was going to do my master's at the Royal College of Art.
In London, right?
I had done everything prior to this. My career had soared, everything. But I wanted to do this for myself, number one, and for my kids, my beautiful daughters. So I decided I was going to go to the Royal College of Art.
Good.
The #1 design school in the world. And I applied. I got in. And I wasn't sure how I was going to pay for it. And I went to London. And I went to the school, and I was given a tour, and they showed me the studio, and it was magnificent and everything. And then they said, "Oh, where do you want to sit?" I said, "I want to sit right here." And then I got a piece of masking tape, and I wrote my name on the tape, and I stuck it to the desk. Do you know, 2 days later, I got a scholarship, and I was a student at the Royal College of Art.
Wow, amazing, amazing.
That is the universe.
Amazing, amazing. So this is actually the title, Shifting Narrative Through Art.
Yes.
Because I would say that, how do you see how we can tell different stories through your art, actually?
Yes, absolutely, because I believe that art is actually the mirror to society, and that is our responsibility as artists. But what I find a bit disconcerting is the whole industry of, contemporary art, for example.
Yes,
Things, being pushed for commercial purposes, because for me, I believe art is for the people. So my path, what I've chosen, is to do things where I can express myself in my artwork, but also make it accessible to most people.
I understand. I would say that for many of artists that I know, art can be a therapy.
Yes.
It can be a therapy through, through writing, to painting, to sculpting. And I would say that one of the main, one of the main things is to, when you create as an artist, you transmit a lot of words, you transmit a lot of messages, first of all, and then maybe you start to know, okay, how can I share my message, and how can I say my works,
Yeah.
And it can be very difficult for some artists to know how to sell, how to give a value to their work. I don't know if you can share, your experience, because obviously you are a designer. You are a designer. You're creating accessories.
Yes.
And you decided to create some art, some collage. How do you say in English? Collage?
Oui, collage.
Collage.
Actually, funny story. I had always been doing art, for many years. And it's when I arrived here and everything had shut down, and I was wanting to focus on something that would, you know, sort of not distract my time, but, you know, give me some pleasure or something that I could work to without any expectation of an income. And,
Yes.
and so that's where all my collages came from. And that's has opened up a whole new world for me. So I'm really grateful about that.
So it was actually during the pandemic.
Correct.
Situation.
So, thank you, COVID. Thank you.
Well, well, we can say that, yes. It's a nice way to say it, yes. Okay, all right. So now you are, I would say you are also have some works. You are exhibiting in Lumas Gallery, Lumas Gallery in Paris.
Yes.
At Saint-Germain-des-Prés. And your works are available online. And
yes, I'm at 20 of their galleries worldwide in
Paris,
New York, Miami, Berlin, Budapest. I forget where else, but yeah.
Yeah, and your works are currently available at the gallery, the Paris one.
Yes.
And you know until when the exhibition will occur? I didn't catch the time.
I think it's until, I believe, maybe August this year.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So some people would be able to go there if they want.
Yes, and online, Lumas.
Yes, and online also. Yeah. What are your next projects then?
Next projects, I'm working on an NFT project right now. Almost done.
Okay.
And also home decor. And an eyewear project as well.
Okay, eyewear project.
I can't say too much because, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I don't know if maybe some of you that are watching us have many questions. Rashida is saying, I agree when you say that art is for the people. I don't see any questions. Feel free to ask any questions.
For example, you know, when you see these magnificent art pieces, for example, you know, the Andy Warhol that just sold for, I don't know, 95 million or something, you know, a couple of weeks ago, you know, it's like, well, yeah, well, it was for people to see. It's really, you know, not for, you know, to create some kind of exclusivity or to leave people out. Like, you know, I don't believe it's really art if it can't be shared, really. Unless you want to keep it for yourself, that's a different story. But yeah, art is definitely for the people.
Okay, all right. I don't see any questions. I guess we're almost done. For the first time.
It's been a real pleasure. And I don't know if you can share what it is that you do, Crystal.
What I do? Oh my gosh, a lot of things. I'm an artist advisor, so I help young artists to develop their, I would say, their business and their project. I work a lot in also communication. I'm a community management also. I can lead all the communication on the network, on Facebook, Instagram, and so on. So that's a big thing that I'm able to do. I'm actually doing it for the African African art book fair
Okay.
which is occurring now in, well, it's almost done now. I've been doing this all the week for them on Facebook, publishing a lot of things and sharing many news and all the programs and all their current panel during this week, and it is occurring at Dakar, Senegal.
Okay.
During the Biennale, and many things. You can please check my website.
Okay.
My account, because we are not here for me. But
can I ask you something? How do you feel about you know, for example, the categorization of artists as being African artists?
Oh, that's a big question.
Because for me, and this is something that I've been, you know, trying to process, it's like, well, how come nobody says that, you know, Picasso is a European artist, or he's a Spanish artist, or he's just an artist? So why do we, you know, as a society say, okay, and I'm just, you know, playing devil's advocate here, why is it about African art and then the rest of it is art, but when it comes to people like who look like you and me, why is it?
Well, I a bit disagree, because you know, there's Chinese art,
but there's Chinese art. Are they anyway? I'm just asking the question.
Yeah. Well, from an African artist point of view, most of them hate this label, because for them they are just artists, you know, and that's it. But I would say you just have to categorize some artists to be able to sell them. It's easier, you know, for the public or even a collectioner to try to figure out what is the background of the artist. Okay. It's easier to, you know, to say that here we go, like the 154 fair, sorry. It's easier to say, okay, it's fair for African artists or African diaspora.
I totally get that. Yeah, I totally get it.
So beside this, you have to go through all of this and to go deeper, and that's why most of the time they like to share their point of view through discussion, talk, and so on. But for me, I would say I've been in this I would call it industry in a way for almost 20 years now. And I would say for me, it's a big shift. It's a big shift. Yeah, because when I started, I think it was on 2003, 2004, there wasn't a lot of African artists or, you know, African, yeah.
It's a
that were exhibiting. There wasn't a lot of exhibitions in Europe, even in Africa. There was a lot, it's still a lot of, you know, traditional sculptures and masks and, you know.
Yes.
Yes.
I guess that's my question. It's where I'm going. It's like, you know, you have to challenge for me, I have to challenge the status quo in order to move forward, or to find a way to, you know, have a space to, you know, create a new narrative for all of us.
Yeah, I would say in a very basic way, we just have to start somewhere, and, you know, in a way. And it's from, you know, people like you and me that are actually trying to change the narrative. That's actually Yeah, it's that way that we will be able to say, okay, there's some African artists, African American artists, but some of their work look like any artist. Okay, you don't have to put, I don't know,
a label.
Yes, a label, or you know, a black woman and so on, to say that it's African.
Right.
I totally agree, but okay, just deal with it right now. It's the first time. It's the first step. And then many professionals will go through this, and will try to find a way to present African artists or African diaspora artists.
I totally agree. And I saw a question. Somebody asked something about what are the next events? Do you have any next events?
I don't have any events for now. I'm more like advising a lot of artists. So I will not have any events, maybe in 2 years, but that's another story. I will try to set up a big event in Togo, because I'm originally from Togo, West Africa.
Yes.
But I will not talk more about it, because it's in my mind now, and I will have to go through it.
It was just, I saw a question and I was like, oh, should say something. Well,
thank you for asking.
For me,
yeah,
I'm going to be mentioning something soon with a new project, so stay tuned.
Same for me. Please don't hesitate to subscribe to Lolita Lorenzo account.
Right.
Yeah, you have 2 accounts. You have 2 accounts.
Yes, one for my fashion and one for my art. Yes.
Yes. So don't hesitate to subscribe to both accounts. Don't hesitate to subscribe. Sorry, to Paula Afrique. Thank you guys for your trust. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your trust. And you can also subscribe to Eric Dupont Gallery.
Yes.
Obviously.
Fabulous gallery. Fabulous.
Yes, it's very nice. That was the first time I visited, and I really liked it. I really liked the space and everything.
He's a great human.
Yes. Yes. And I think we are done now. I mean,
thank you, everybody. Just wanted to say thank you, Christelle, for this.
Thank you, Lolita Lorenzo.
It's my first live. I'm not very social, but
yeah, it's the first time that I'm speaking in English in front of everybody. That way, sorry for the English.
For accommodating me. I think in English, so yeah, and it's been a wonderful pleasure. Happy Sunday, everyone.
Happy Sunday, and see you soon. Thanks a lot, Lolita Lorenzo. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.